Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Heartland Farm, our second edition of the toy, the Real McCoy. A little idea we had to talk about our toy tractors and its real-life counterpart. We had our first episode last Sunday afternoon where we featured the Alice Chalmers 220 front wheel assist, and we gave a little hint as to what we would feature this week, and that would be the International and the Farmall 1456, the toy and the Real McCoy, a tractor with front wheel assist. So once again, welcome to Heartland Farm. We're going to first show you the toy tractors, and I'm going to start here by explaining a difference a lot of people don't know. They'll use the word International and Farmall interchangeably, and they really aren't. The first Farmall tractor was created by the International Harvester Company in 1923, and the name Farmall coined because it was a farm tractor for all applications. You could adjust the row width on the front wheels, on the rear wheels. The front wheels, of course, were in a tricycle configuration for the variety of row spacings and row crops in the various areas in the United States. So from corn to tobacco to soybeans, etc., specialty crops, vegetables, etc., all are planted in different rows. So they wanted a tractor where you could adjust the row width, the tracking on the rear wheels of the tractor, and primarily in those days had a tricycle front that followed along one row. So over time, we've eliminated the tricycle front end tractor, but we still have the need for variable width rear wheels for various row crop spacings. So a Farmall tractor, whether it was in 1923 or in the 50s, 60s, and into the 70s, when they stopped using the name Farmall on row crop tractors, was a tractor that had the ability to adjust the front row wheel width and the rear wheel width, whether either power adjust rims or flange type hubs. So that's the difference there. If you come over and look at the toys, this is a replica of a Farmall 1256. I didn't have a 1456 with front wheel assist, much to my chagrin. I'll rectify that one day, I'm sure. But this one is a custom made by Lamar's Toy Store for me out of Lamar's, Iowa, and it was a casting of an Ertl 856 that has been remanufactured, and they've put cast front weights on it. They've put a Coleman front wheel assist, which is what we're going to feature on when we get to the real tractor here in just a few minutes. And in style with Lamar's, there's a lot of detail: throttle lever, hydraulic remote levers, and things like that, and an IH quick hitch, or cast 3-point quick hitch. Over on the left is a tractor that I just received this Christmas from Santa Claus. This, instead of being a Farmall 1456, is an International 1456. This will have non-adjustable front axle. You can't loosen the clamps and widen or narrow the front end on this two-wheel drive tractor like you can on a two-wheel drive Farmall. So this one's known as an International. If you look at the frontal view on it, you'll see that the headlights on this tractor are in the grill, where on the real tractor that we're going to show you, which will be a Farmall 1456, they'll be in the fenders. This, being a Wheatland tractor, a standard tread as they say, has got the round Wheatland fenders, non-adjustable front end, headlights in the grill. Other than that, the power plant is the same. Highly unusual on a Wheatland would be a 3-point hitch, although somebody posted a picture, one on Facebook this week, of a really nice 1456 Wheatland with a 3-point hitch and rear PTO. That one is an extreme rarity because it also had the front wheel assist. There were 5,592 Farmall 1456s made, and then another 294 of the Wheatlands. So if you find a Wheatland with front wheel assist, you've really got a rarity. That's why I mentioned that one that was on Facebook this week. It's a real attention getter. In November of 19 at the Mecum Gone Farming auction in Davenport, Iowa, the boys and I were out there previewing the auction, and they had not only a 1456 Wheatland front wheel assist, but also a 1256 Wheatland front wheel assist. Another very, very rare collectible tractor. They both got way beyond my price, my pay grade, but I would have loved to have given either one of them a home here because of their rarity, and of course because this is the home of front wheel assist out here at Heartland Farm. So enough about those beautiful toys, and again, thank you, Santa, for that beautiful 1456 Wheatland. Oh, I'm going to mention something else about this tractor. You'll notice its gold paint job. This is a gold demonstrator International. This was a program by International Harvester in 1970 to draw attention to the tractors when they were out being demonstrated at farms. So they were painted gold at the factory. There's only so many of them that were that way, taken out in the field, and they were to draw attention so that people looked at these new tractors And then once they were done demonstrating them, they were supposed to take them back to the dealership, paint them red, and sell them to a regular retail customer. Very few of them escaped without being repainted, and so it's a highly, they say going for the gold when you're looking at a 544 or an 826, 856, or 1456, 1026 hydro, to look under the hood and see if you see some remnants of some of that gold demonstrator paint. You're onto something, and you have an original gold demonstrator, which people, when they find them, bring them back to the gold paint. They're highly collectible. There's a vegetable farmer down on Long Island that was featured on Classic Tractor Fever that has, I don't know, 6 or 8 golden demos from 1970. So we're going to talk about our own 1456 Farmall with a Coleman front wheel assist. This is a 1970 model, so it's one of 5,590 made between the years 1969 and 71. These tractors were rated at 130 horsepower in the literature, and when tested by the University of Nebraska, tested out at a little over 131 horsepower at the power takeoff. This is the second Farmall tractor to use the 407, the DT 407 engine, 407 cubic inches, turbocharged inline 6-cylinder DT Series International diesel. This was the beginning of the DT series of engines, and these engines went on and finished up with the venerable DT 466, used not only in the latest International Harvester tractors up till 1985, but also in International and Navistar trucks until emissions got the best of that engine block, and that family of engines went away just in the last few years. It's pretty sad how the government forced the engine manufacturers to put so many choking controls on these once super reliable engines that finally they just were no longer viable. But anybody who's around tractor pulling circles or around medium duty trucks knows that the DT 466 and this whole DT series of engines was just an excellent engine. So this tractor is, as I said, second generation to use that motor. We also have in our collection a 1256 with a Coleman front wheel assist, which would be 112 horsepower. That was the tractor that replaced the 1206, which had a 361 cubic inch engine. They put the 407 in, they started in that 1256, but the horsepower war, which you'll hear me mention all the time, was in full swing by the late 60s, and the companies were just one after the other trying to outdo each other in tractor horsepower as the demands were greater and greater. The wheat belt farms were growing in size, and they wanted more horsepower to work more acres per day. The dairy farms here in the Northeast were getting bigger as well, and because of weather constraints, people had to work into more unsavory weather conditions where it was wet, and that's when the front wheel assist was starting to become more and more popular. Even in the 70s, when I was a little kid, to see a front wheel assist tractor was an anomaly, and that's probably where my love for these tractors came, because they were an oddity. Now, rarely any row crop tractors are sold without front wheel assist. A lot of people want to call them four-wheel drives, but the purists will say that a four-wheel drive tractor bends in the middle and has 4 equal size tires. So when you're talking a row crop tractor that has front wheel assist, has a front drive axle, it's known as a front wheel assist. So this 131 horsepower at the PTO tractor is nicely restored. We bought it at a Mecum auction a couple of years ago. It's got a full rack of IH front weights on it. It's been nicely restored. Has an 8-speed transmission and a 2-speed torque amplifier, which is a 2-speed power shift that allows you to increase torque and decrease speed when the pulling conditions get a little tough. It's also nice when you're chopping corn or you're baling hay and you get into some heavy crop where you want to slow down the tractor speed a little bit without doing anything to engine speed to plug the tool. You pull the torque amplifier lever back, slows the tractor down, you get through the heavy crop and go on from there.
John Anderson asked if the Coleman front wheel assist was installed by International or by Coleman after the fact.
It was installed on the factory assembly line at the Farmall Works in Rock Island, Illinois, on many tractors, so it was available as a dealer option. You could buy it in kit form also and have it installed at the dealer, but it was never installed by Coleman. It was either installed by an IH dealer or on the assembly line at Rock Island. John's got a American Coleman airport tug, or had one, with four-wheel steer, which is just 2 of these same Coleman axles, one on the front, one on the back of a Coleman airport tug, and those are unique. There's a lot of those being surplused out right now, and we'll probably have one of those here one day if the stars align just right. If you look at our tractor, you'll see she's equipped with long axles. This is intended to have hubs put on it and dual wheels. We have to keep in mind these long axles because everything's a tight fit around Heartland Farm. We always try to pack a lot of tractors in a little bit of space here. So one of these axles sticking out, if you get too close to a door jamb, can be quite a bad deal. We've got the IH cast wheel weights on this tractor, 4 sets all the way around. Come around to the back, we've got a category 3 convertible down to 2, 3-point hitch, 2 remote valves, a 540 and 1000 RPM power takeoff, original International Harvester top link, float rise seat. It's got the full gamut of light package on it, and it is without question one of my most favorite tractors that we have out here. As a matter of fact, sometimes when I get over to work, I just take her for a ride and go get ice cream, because it is a beautiful tractor to drive, and it's got a nice throaty sound to it. You'll see when you're talking a Farmall, you've got headlights in the shell type fenders, where on the Wheatland you have the round Wheatland fenders and the headlights would be up in the grill. Now, it's colder than a well digger's social finger here today, so we were going to pull this tractor outside, but we aren't going to. But I am going to pop the door, and we're going to pan around this tractor once for you so you get a little idea of it. She is a real beauty. I really love the stature of the 56 series tractors. These were the big tractors when I was a little boy, and there's just something about the round hood on these tractors that really gets my attention. They're just a nice tractor to operate. They're timeless, and they're really finding a lot of love with collectors right now, and there's still plenty of them still out doing their job, farms all over the country. So next week, at special request of our friend Ernie Scheel, a great crop farmer from Genoa, New York, and probably one of New York's premier toy tractor collectors, he wants us to do a feature on Jane's 6030 tractor. So Ernie, it's over in a barn that doesn't have heat and doesn't have light, but just for you, the next time we do the toy and the Real McCoy, we're going to be doing my wife's 6030 that we got her for her birthday this year. And thank you all for tuning in. We hope that you could share this, and if you enjoy it, give us some comments and we'll keep it going. When you've had enough, you tell us, and we won't bother you with any more of it. But in the meantime, we're having a good time. Please share it with your friends. God bless you all. Have a great week, and think snow. I think we're getting a foot to foot and a half of it tonight into tomorrow.